As we go through life, we struggle with a variety of different values, trying to live the good life and participate in a community where our values seem honored and we can participate with good conscience. I think, sadly, there are many people who participate in a religious community because of sociological reasons, their family, their employment, their community, and so they go to whatever church they go to out of habit and because it's sociologically a good thing to do. But then again, we might change because something comes into our life that forces us to ask the deeper questions. And then we have to make some conscious decisions about what kind of community do we want. My experience here at Fountain Street, and I want to ask for a show of hands, but there's 3 general groups of people, I think. The humanists who've been in that perspective all their life. Many have grown up here. Those who didn't have a religion, and this has then informed them, and this becomes a wonderful place. But also those whose journey has taken them other places, and they find Fountain Street to be a breath of fresh air. I have found this to be true. I've been connected to Fountain Street for about 8 years. And as we've heard, many are recent people to the community, and we welcome them. We are a community that dares ask the questions that others won't ask, dares to hold the mystery as something precious without answering all the questions. We don't need answers, we simply need to make the journey with love and compassion and grace, letting others embrace what they need to embrace in their perspective of the divine powers in the universe. Whether you are young or old doesn't much matter because the questions are eternal. And here at my age, 69, I'm still asking questions. I'm still evolving in my views. And I think that's the wonderful freedom we have here, to embrace the mystery and let it be a mystery, and yet engage when we have to of struggling with the issues and the questions. You can participate at whatever level you wish. Some are blessed in that their life is pretty smooth, and they have a perspective that is not troubling at all to them, and they are sailing along nicely. But as you know, there are times in our life when we are challenged, either by events thrust upon us or simply by our discovery of new perspectives. I'm pleased to be a part of the community that allows me to take a journey. When I meet with, I do about 20 weddings a year here, most all of the weddings here, except for members, but there's a lot of non-member weddings. I cover that spectrum of 1 to 10 with them. Because when I'm here doing a wedding service, and we have this diverse audience, I tell the couple, you are presenting a religious perspective in the words that I use for your wedding ceremony. I don't want to impose my words on you, although I give them choices, and they're my words that are the choices, so I guess I am sort of limiting what they choose. But about a third of the weddings I do, they choose totally secular language, so there are no references to God or no prayers. It does still yet have, as many services here, a very religious tone, a very spiritual, meaningful liturgy. So about a third are secular. and about a third are middle of the road, and then about a third choose the more traditional Christian language that I offer and that I'm comfortable with. There are some things that I will not say in a wedding service. I've heard it said more than once that Satan is working to destroy your marriage. That's why you should walk closely with the Lord. And there are people who believe that, and that's an important part of the motivation to resist those evil things that come along. We all have to make our choices. And in our society, we have a tremendous variety of options. Fountain Street is one of those critically important options for this community. I wish this church long and prosperous years, many years of serving. It has done so in the past. I hope it can continue in the future. There are many challenges, of course, for all large churches. Technology changes, the social fabric changes. But Fountain Street offers something unique, and I'm pleased to be able to be a part of it, to be able to share my perspective with you this morning. And I'd like to share just a little bit more about the dogma, the ritual, and the leaders as we wrap up. We might reject the dogma that is thrust upon us by authoritative sources, and most liberals do. But yet we need some personal set of principles and tenets to live by. So you need to create your own personal dogma, that is, those beliefs that are strongly held that guide you in your moral life, in your ethical life. There are simple rules. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Do not kill, steal, commit adultery, or lie. Those are good basics. Judge not by the color of a person's skin, but by the content of their character. Know that every human being is endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. That's from the Desiderata. You have a right to be here. Yes, create your own dogma. Be clear in your mind about the principles that guide your life. And as far as ritual goes, yes, we need some. Every community creates its own rituals. We have a service that has a liturgy to it. We go through these things. Maybe less ritualistic than some, maybe a little more than others, that's fine. But join that community that offers you the opportunities to live out your faith journey in whatever ways is important to you. And what leaders do you follow? There's a famous quote, I think it's by Disraeli. It says, "Beware the person of one book." We follow a lot of people, and rightly so. The human experience throughout the histories have provided many, many powerful leaders of religions and philosophies and nations. We're fortunate in the United States to have a secular constitution that separates our religion and our operations of state, and we need to make sure that stays that way. So we have some good leaders to choose from. We have some in the windows up here. I always tell people, I don't say always, occasionally I'll dare to point out, we have Darwin up here and other secular saints. Over here are other Christian saints, but these are the secular saints. So we follow leaders, and that's good. Read widely, question all, embrace those who speak truth to you. As you move on the scale, you might swing to the right some, you might swing to the left some. It's okay. The person you're sitting next to this morning might be in a little different place on that scale, and that's okay too. Here's the place where what you believe is a matter of your own conscience. How you speak to God in the moments of your meditation and prayer is a personal thing for you, and that is good. There is a great mystery about the spiritual powers of the universe and how we are touched. We happen to be in this interesting moment of the solstice, and at the same time a supermoon, I guess they're labeling it. And we're curious about those regular events of nature that come to surprise us and always cause us some awe, and that's good. Know that the Spirit that gives you life, that gives us all life, that has given our ancestors life, that Spirit is working in all of reality. And the Spirit sustains you this day and every day. And at the end of our journey, we will recede. We will relinquish our spirit to the greater Spirit. And the Spirit will continue in other lives, and we will be remembered and cherished by those we've touched. If in your imagination you are comforted by images of a heaven, let yourself be so comforted. Recognize not all might share that. It's okay. Somehow we need to come to that place where our perspective is no longer like this, but like this. And may the world come to know the peace of honoring human dignity everywhere, of allowing religious freedom and freedom of thought everywhere. May we practice that in our lives, and may the world come to know that for all humanity. May it be so. Amen.